advice you would have for someone who is looking to get involved or work in global health policy, either at home or with an organization with like the World Health Organization? Would you have any insights you'd be willing to, or parting insights you'd be willing to share?
Yeah, and I love this question, and I always happy to engage with young people starting out. Why? So they don't make the same mistakes I made. Save yourself some time, do better. But some bits of that advice, and again, I hate talking about Twitter all the time, but I have a Twitter thread on this as well. Yeah, I mentioned the one, find a problem and solve it. And that's really important, top level advice. Secondly, embrace failure. Don't be defensive. Fail fast, learn from it, and move forward. Thirdly, find the right mentor. Ask yourself who's doing what you want to be doing 10 years from now, and reach out to them, and they'll be happy to speak with you. And fourthly, and this is related to all these points, let's just recognize our privilege. And it relates a little bit to some of the points we were making about inequities. Let's step back and give space for leaders from Indigenous communities, racialized communities, women leaders. I've done that over the past 10 years or so, and I found it extremely gratifying, and young people can do that too. If you find a rocket ship, jump aboard. You'll see various rocket ships flying around you, by which I mean really incredible initiatives. Jump on board those initiatives. And so those are a few areas. And certainly in terms of global health, which was the domain specificity of your question, go to an area where other people are not. So, most people go to places where there's a lot of people flocking. Go to the opposite areas. Be a bit of a contrarian. I mean, just as an example, in the 1980s, I went into the field of bioethics. And I did that because I thought I was passionate about it. I thought it was important. I thought we could make a constructive difference in terms of impact. And it was a totally neglected area at the time. And that's why I went there. And you can find similar domains within global health as well. And that's what I would encourage in terms of international organizations, WHO. Just stay in touch. Information is power here. And let's reach out and continue to interact. And I'm always glad, any young person who emails me or texts me or tweets and says, can you spare 10 or 15 minutes to chat? The answer is always yes. And so be delighted to continue to interact with you and learn from you and learn from you. So Kevin, thank you so much for that question, and just really privileged to be with you, and really appreciate the opportunity. And let's go back at the end and remember the health workers who are heroes, the people who've died. I mean, this is and their families. This is a serious, serious global challenge we're in the midst of, and only by working across the different fields that you all represent and the different countries from which people on this call are from. Working together, will we be able to defeat COVID, but defeat it we will. Kevin, thank you very much. And Rai, thank you very much for your leadership and for this interaction.